Hey everybody, welcome to the adventures of Jaws Jr. Here we are in the world headquarters. Today, following up a kind of a promise I gave you guys. When we were out on the Oregon coast last, I said I would tumble some of our finds in the Harbor Freight dual rotary drum tumbler and show you guys what I do. So, very simple. This is the finds that the Mrs. Jaws Jr. and I had. Still covered in sand. I am not cleaning them up. I don't care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one of these down here be for agate and one for Jasper. For the Jasper, I will start off filling it up with greens and then topping it off with reds or one of the other colors that we found out there. So with that, I'm just going to sort through this and then we'll get this started. But basically, the green Jaspers, and I know they're small, and that's fine. So my goal for these is not to have perfectly rounded and smooth rocks. I want this batch to be, there's an agate in there to go on the other side. I want this batch to be kind of on the rough side, showing some of the original texture. So I'm not going to roll these as long as what I might typically roll them. And some of these may not polish all the way, like this one here. This one here may not polish at all, but we're going to find out. And that's why we do this. That one there might polish up quite nicely. I could throw that one in there, but it's a little big for this process, and I would rather process these bigger ones in my 12 pounders or in my custom built 12-pound rotary tumbler. I don't think I'm going to have a, no, it's a little bit too big for what I want. And I don't think I'm going to have a problem in filling this up. That's about the biggest I want to go with these. Now with the agate side, I might have a little bit more difficulty getting enough to fill it up. Some there, there's one there, there's some there. So basically this is all I'm doing. And like I said, I don't care if there's sand on it. It's not going to hurt the process any. I don't spend hours and hours and hours cleaning rocks. Most of the time I don't even clean them. Heck, I'll even put them in the saw with them being a little bit on the dirty side. It does not matter to me. It's just a waste of time, because once you add the 60-90 grit into these barrels down here, you will have one of the best cleaning agents out there. And there's some of the agates here. And you can also mix the agate and the Jasper together. They're of a similar hardness. It's not going to hurt anything. But for those who want to be true to sticking with similar materials, that's why I'm doing it this way. Because it doesn't really matter to me. So let me go ahead and get this finished, filled up, so you're not sitting here staring at me or staring at my hand, grabbing smalls, and a dirty hand at that. Been busy today. Some of my recent videos, especially the one prior to this one, will explain why I've been extremely busy. We got invited to pick through a backyard. And that video showing the results is incredible. We didn't film while we were up there out of respect for the family. And I'm not mentioning any, I didn't mention any names either. But that was just a wonderful experience, once in a lifetime experience. And with that, we'll be right back with these being full. We have now got it sorted out. The Jasper, the agate, and other hard stuff, kind of quartzy. And we're going to roll it on the old Chicago dual rotary drum rock tumbler, or dual drum rotary rock tumbler. That's a mouthful sometimes. This is one we bought used for $25 6 or 7 years ago. We bought 3 of them, $25 a piece. So, you wonder, well, why is the cover off? That is how I roll. I would not recommend having this cover off if you have kids or if you have fingers that like to get caught into things. Me, I put these on the shelves. This is on the back side of it, the furthest away from the front. I reach around, turn the switch on and off. And see how noisy that is? 6 years of rolling, this thing has seen some horrible usage. And if it dies on this batch, you know, that's okay. $25, and it has processed a lot. And when I hear something like this here anyway, I firmly believe the bearing that's back inside here is probably going out. And I don't think this machine will last much longer, but I will double check, make sure that the fan is on there secure, which, you know, it wasn't. I don't think that's going to make a bit of difference on the noise. Nope. We'll run her till she blows. No problem. That's okay with me. So, back to the barrels. So, but back to the tumbler here. Don't be afraid to get one of these to practice, to start off on. I would not use one of these like for somebody who's trying to get serious into it. I wouldn't use them like I do. I know how to troubleshoot these. I've modified these. I've done a lot of work to these, so I know what to expect. I knew this one here was going bad, and as soon as I turned it on, I remembered, oh, this is the one that makes the noise. And it could be why it's the slowest one. But that's okay. We're here to learn, we're here to have fun, and we're here to make rocks shiny. And if this one dies, I have 3 others I can take the barrels off and put them on the other one. And I will have parts when I go buy a new one. Okay, enough of that now. Barrels. Very simple. Add water. Right to there. Add more water to the other barrel. Right to there. Now we're going to add a 1/4 cup of grit. Not a 1/4 cup, 1/3 cup. Laundry soap measuring cup, and I marked it to 1/3. Bingo. And now I got to fill it up again. 1/3 cup. We're going to add some white magic powder. Yes, white magic powder. You can define that however you want. 1, 2, and I'm not too critical on how much. 1, 2. Now we'll get the lids put on, and sometimes this can be tricky, just like that. lightly tap. Don't use a regular hammer on it. Well, it is 7 days later, and kind of one minor issue. It was not rolling correctly, so I thought, well, let's take a look at it. And mind you, I keep this heat shield off for a reason. This was the belt that was on it. So, discovered the problem, turn it off, replace the belt, no downtime. So let's see what we got. Okay, mind you, we are not after the most perfectly smooth rocks here. We are after something that has been tumbled, still leaving some of the original texture. I'll clean this up later, because I don't know if I'm going to take these outside and dump them yet or not. I don't feel any grit left. You see here's some, and this has got to be the Jasper side with it being so dark. Let me just grab a squirt bottle. Okay. Well, you know, let's take a look at the agate side, because these might be okay for what I'm looking for. They might be just what the doctor ordered. We shall see, though. So let's go ahead and open this side here up. A little bit of grit residue left on this one here. This might have been able to roll another day longer. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dump out some of the slurry. I will add another cup, not cup, 1/3 cup of coarse grit, and then I'm going to roll it for another 7 days. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, there we go. Cleaned out the barrel, cleaned the lid on both of them. Going to reseal them up. Going to put them back on the worn out Harbor Freight dual rotary drum tumbler and let them roll for another 7 to 9 days. There they go. we will check back in roughly a week or a week and 2 days, something, whenever I feel like doing something with these. Don't you love my scientific way of doing this? 7 to 9 days, somewhere around there. Heck, I don't know. I don't care. Whatever works. Okay, I have actually had to roll this for 9 days for the second round of coarse grit. And no issues, just sit here and ran the entire time. I didn't even put it up on my shelf with the others. I've just been too busy with work, so I just left it here. So we are going to go ahead and take these outside and clean them up and then start medium grit. Nothing special, nothing abnormal. I'm just going to do a quick clean and get them rolling again. And yes, I don't burnish. I don't waste my time. Well, it's several hours later. I got asked to go help somebody out who needed some assistance. So, this is what it's like after 2 cycles of coarse grit. Should work. So I'm just going to and we did lose some volume as expected. So to make up some of that volume, we are going to be doing our ceramic pellets. And my ceramic pellets have a mix of different rocks and the pellets. That's good. A little on the full side, but you know, that's okay. Because I don't follow normal things. Good enough. So better, closer look at what this stuff is like. Just a bunch of smalls, and it works good. And out of every batch I do, it seems like I add to that. So it doesn't ever seem to go away. Now, we're going to be doing silicon carbide, medium grit. I do 1/3 cup. And then I add the white stuff. Now we're just going to add some water. And all of you have done this all before. This is nothing spectacular. There's no magic here. Other than somebody's going to tell me I overfilled this, but you know, this is how full I fill it all the time. And I end up with pretty good results off of my methodology. So I'm going to put the lids on these and get it rolling for 7 to 10 days, something like that. Now this is going to roll again for 7 to 10 days, something like that. Whatever I feel the need for, or whenever I've got time to stop it and clean it out. Now, the next step is just what you saw before. You roll it. When it's done, clean it out, No burnishing, no nothing, just clean the rocks, put it back in, see if you need to add any more ceramic. If you need to add more ceramic, add it. Then about a quarter cup of aluminum oxide, 500 grit. Roll that for 7 to 10 days. Repeat the process. Clean them out. You shouldn't have to add any more ceramic media. Then you roll it again for another 7 to 10 days with aluminum oxide polish. After that, take it out, clean it up real good, and you should have some shiny rocks. And that's what's going to happen. So next time you see this, I'm not going to bore you with all the little step details of every cycle going through it. You've seen what I do. And see, it's being noisy today, but I've just... And again, it's a typical Harbor Freight. This is 7 years old. It could just up and die on me. But when you pay $25 for one, who cares? So, next time you see this, you're going to see some shiny rocks and hopefully a lot less noise. We are done. I have to pull out the biggest one here first. Look at that beauty. And unfortunately, the color is not coming through for you guys. But this brings the conclusion of tumbling material from the Oregon coast in the Harbor Freight dual rotary drum tumbler. It did a pretty good job. I have been able to get a better quality polish using a vibratory tumbler. But you know, I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this. And now you see why we picked up so many smalls. Kind of love that sound. So, it does not matter what type of equipment you have. You can still get some very nice polished rocks using one of the cheapest rotary tumblers on the market. I was able to do this. And again, I'm happy with it. I could have gotten a much more crisper polish using a vibratory, but that was not the goal. The goal was just to make this stuff look much better and have it with some character left on it, rather than polishing it completely round and smooth that I have a tendency of doing with a lot of my material. This one was one of the first pieces that we found on my latest trip to the Oregon coast. So there you go, everyone. Don't give up with your tumbling. Keep pushing hard. It's trial and error. Not every batch is going to turn out right. You're going to have some rocks in there that fail. Somewhere in here I saw one that was just did not polish, and I don't remember which one it was. Boy, see, look at that. Look how cool that looks. Okay, well, here's one right here. It broke. It does not have a very good shine on it. That's okay. Not every rock is going to be perfect. So, just remember, everyone's life is an adventure. Then there's mine, even tumbling rocks in the shop. Look at the greens. This is the Adventures of Jaws Jr. Have a good one, everybody. See ya!